Lives of Slaves, Proof Slavery is Wrong. Can you imagine being forcibly taken from your home? No? Can you imagine being shoved on a tiny ship with 600 others? Slavery is wrong. This is the story of the lives of slaves of the Americas and the world. These people were forced out of their homes. 600 of them were crammed on a boat. The boat was meant for 451 people. In order to keep them in shape, the slaves were forced to dance on deck. This was humiliating. They had little hope of getting off the ship. The women were left unchained and could free the men. They might be successful, only to find they didn't know how to operate the ship. Or they could fail. They would then be beaten within an inch of their life, or they could be thrown overboard. To make things worse, they were threatened with cruel torture if they refused. I was soon put under the decks, and there I received such a greeting in my nostrils as I had never experienced in my life. The closeness of the place and the heat of the climate, added to the number in the ship, which was so crowded that each had scarcely room to turn himself, almost suffocated us. The air soon became unfit for respiration from a variety of loathsome smells, and brought on a sickness among the slaves, of which many died. The wretched situation was again aggravated by the chains, now unsupportable, and the filth of necessary tubs into which the children often fell and were almost suffocated. The shrieks of the women and the groans of the dying rendered the whole scene a horror almost inconceivable. Once they got off the ship, they would be sold. Buyers would poke and prod them to make sure they were worth their money. At length, the Vendue master, who was to offer us for sale like sheep or cattle, arrived, and asked my mother which was the eldest. She said nothing, but pointed to me. I was soon surrounded by strange men who examined and handled me in the same manner that a butcher would a calf or lamb he was about to purchase, and who talked about my shape and size in like words, as if I could no more understand their meaning than the dumb beasts. I was then put up to sale. The bidding commenced at a few pounds and gradually rose to 57, and the people who stood by said that I had fetched a great sum for so young a slave. Families could be torn apart. Once bought, they would be put to work. They could get put to work in a house, taking care of cleaning and raising small children, or they could be sentenced to a hard life of working in the fields on long, hot summer days. Slaves were fed the cheapest of foods, cornmeal and gruel. Only on holidays did they get small amounts of meat. Their living quarters were small wooden shacks. They didn't provide much shelter from the cold winters, the hot summers, or rain. They were given one set of clothes they had to wear until the clothes couldn't be mended anymore. Overseers made slaves' lives even worse. If they didn't work fast enough, they were beaten. If they didn't do something right, they were beaten. They had little hope for escaping. Some even tried it. Most of them were caught and brutally tortured. Their ears could be cut off, or to their utter horror, an arm or leg could be hacked off. In some cases, they were forced to wear an iron collar and/or an iron face mask. 50 lashes were laid on before stopping. While I suffered under this torture, I prayed and wept and implored mercy at the hands of slavery, but found none. Some were lucky and made it to the north. There they were free. The lives of slaves was hard. They suffered constantly. Slavery is very wrong.